Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. For today's video, we are going to be doing a makeup tutorial on this look right here, which is also my second installment in my Zodiac series. And today we are going to be following the color for Pisces. Now, according to this chart that I follow right here, it is the color light green. But instead of light green, we are going to be playing with medium green, since light green doesn't really show up on my complexion that much. And I am in love with this look. And I'm also in love with so many Pisceans out there. So many of my close friends happen to be Pisces, and they're one of the best people I know. But I'm not going to blabber about that any longer. If you want to know how I got this look, or if you just want to see me play with makeup, then please keep on watching. Alrighty, I'm going to start off by priming my skin, and I'm going to use my Flower in Your Prime Illuminating Primer. My skin has been feeling drier than usual, and I didn't even think that was possible. We should be careful what we think is possible and what is not possible. Basically, this is like a strobing cream, but very subtle one at it. So I'm just going to apply it all over my face to add a little bit of moisture and a lot of glow to my skin, which I really need. So I'm just massaging this on to ensure we have no patchiness going on. Now for my foundation, I'm going to use my Nykaa SkinShield foundation, and I have the shade Hot Honey with me right here. At least I'm hoping that's my shade. My skin has been going through things. Like, my shades have been changing way more rapidly than I would want them to be ideally. So I'm just going to apply it all over my skin, and hopefully it matches me. So I'm just dotting it on, and I'm using a very little amount. I'm not going for like a really masked look of sorts. I want a very natural, soft, glowing base. So I'm just going to start blending it out with the help of my foundation brush, and I'm just going to stipple this into place. I'm not moving the foundation a lot. I'm just stippling, stamping, and moving on. That worked out quite well. I do really like this foundation. I love the finish, I love the formulation, I love the longevity and everything. And it does have quite a decent amount of shades in there. So that's a relief. Let's move on to the concealer. Now I'm going to use my Elle Camo Concealer. Again, a product that I really like. It's very long lasting. It has high coverage, which I honestly need for my under eye bags, because these are not Prada, they're not even Sarojini. And I'm just going to apply it generally where all I apply it, but again I'm going in with slightly light hand because I don't want it to look like a full coverage mask. So now I'm just going to start blending it out. I'm again just stamping this in place to ensure that I retain the most amount of coverage. Again, because I'm not using a lot of that product, I want to ensure that I have targeted application and targeted blending as well. So I'm just blending and buffing this out to ensure we have nice and highlighted face. This would just make sure that your face has a lot of definition to it and does not look as flat as it does right now with just foundation on. A lot of times when we apply foundation, it takes away our features because we are flattening everything out. So adding a little bit of highlight just ensures that, that definition is just given back to you. So I'm just blending out my concealer. I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush, and I'm going to make sure that there is no patchiness or harsh edges between the concealer and the foundation. So I'm going over the places where the concealer meets the foundation to make sure that there's a seamless blend going on there. Now to set all of that hard work into place and make sure it lasts all day, all night, I'm going to use my Coty Airspun Loose powder. Basically, this is a translucent powder that just makes sure your skin looks very smooth, very flawless. So I'm going to take a little bit of this powder because you truly don't need a lot. And I'm going to make sure I work it into my brush. So I'm not just picking it up like this and applying it directly, but I'm going to work it into my brush. This ensures no patchiness and your foundation does not cling onto the powder. I'm just going to apply this under my eyes like that. You can apply it all over your face if you have oilier skin and you need more oil control. I come from the Sahara Desert dry skin type. So for me, I only like to apply it under my eyes, a little bit on my eyelid to set it so that it doesn't crease, especially this eye. I have more creasing on one eye than the other eye for some reason. I know the reason. My face is not symmetrical like most people, but you know what I mean. And I'm also going to apply it around my mouth because I am pretty animated and I need to set around my mouth to ensure my smile lines stay at bay. Now, because I want a very soft base for this look, I'm going to skip on contouring and we're going to directly move on to a little bit of bronzing. I'm going to use my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder for this one, and this was in my project pan last year. So I'm so happy to report that I've been constantly using this and I've hit such a major pan in there. We have that waffle pan shining through, but that's not what this video is about. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this powder and I'm going to apply it on the hollows of my cheeks. I'm just stamping this in. This is a beautiful powder. I have nothing like this and I've been loving loving just using it all over again. It's such a beautiful product. It adds the most soft amount of definition with a little bit of sheen to your skin. Like, it's not a shimmery bronzer, but it's not a matte bronzer. It's somewhere in between. And I'm just going over the places where I would normally like to hit my bronzer, just to add a little bit of warmth to my face and a lot of sheen. This just makes my skin look so healthy. Back in the day when I did used to get a summer tan, when I was going out and I used to get a summer tan, I could actually use this as a setting powder for all over my face, and I used to love it like that because my skin used to look so healthy. But now I am using this like a bronzer of sorts, and I've been loving it that way too. For my blush, I want to keep it slightly muted since I am going to be playing up with colors on my eyes. So I'm going to use my K Beauty blush in the shade Mild Berry. Now this might look very dark and intimidating in the pan, but it goes on beautifully on the skin. So I'm just going to take my brush and I'm going to apply it on the apples of my cheeks right here. And then I'm going to mix it back into that Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. This is a beautiful blush. I love the formulation of this blush and our color is to die for. So I'm just placing it on my cheeks to ensure we have a nice flush of color going on. For my highlight, I'm going to use another previous Project Pan product. I have my Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in the shade Exposed. This is a mini highlighter and I do have quite good progress on that. You can see the pan is huge, but there's still so much product in there. So I thought, you know what, let's bust it out for today's video. I'm not focusing on this again, but I'm just trying to use it here and there to ensure that there is some progress on this and we don't forget about it once the project is over. But I'm just going to apply it on the tops of my cheekbones just to highlight them up and bring some glow back to my skin, because right now we are looking pretty matte. I do like this highlighter. I don't even know if it's available any longer or not, but I feel like Tarte overall does really good base products, give or take their Shape Tape foundation error. But I am just going to be applying it right here on the bridge of my nose, the tip of my nose, also on my cupid's bow, just to make sure we have an overall glow going on and not just strips of highlighter. And now for my favorite step, I'm going to take a quick little shower in my MAC Fix Plus. This is my setting spray. I'm just going to spritz this all over my face to ensure all of my powders are meshed in together and my makeup lasts for a really long time. We are up close and personal because I'm starting off with my eyes. The first product I'm going to use is my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this spoolie first to ensure that there is no foundation, no knots in my brows. So I'm just combing it through my brows, and then I am just going to take the pencil side, which is a super fine pencil. I'm going to start making sure that my eyebrows have no sparse gaps. So I'm just filling into my brows, filling into the sparse gaps, going into the direction of my hair growth. I'm not specifically mapping out my brows today too much, but I'm just filling into the gap. And I am going to go back and forth with the spoolie to ensure we do not miss any area and the pencil can be blended into my brows without any stark demarcations. To set my brows in place and make sure they have an extra bit of volume, I am going to use Face Brash. I have reviewed this on my channel, so I will leave a link for you guys up in the eye in case you want to check out my review. But I'm going to very carefully brush this through my brows because this does have a tendency to just go everywhere. So I'm just brushing my brow hair upward like this so that they can have an extra bit of volume. They will settle down in place. Nothing just keeps my brows in place like that. It would settle down and fall a little bit, but for now I'm just brushing them upwards. The eyeshadow color of choice for today is light green, so I'm going to go into my Makeup Revolution Chilled palette, which is a beautiful green themed palette. Now I'm not going to be going into the deeper greens today because deep green is supposed to be a color for a sun sign later on. Today we are going to stay in the realm of the lighter greens that we have here. So let's start off with today's look. I want to do a halo eye, so I'll start with the shade Relax first, which is a beautiful beige color, and I'm going to put this through my crease just to ensure we have a nice base for transition going on and there is no stark lines going on later on whatsoever. So we are just using a fluffy brush and I'm going to make sure we have a nice and smooth transition shade going on. Now with the flat shaded brush, I'm going to pick up the shade Cool, which is a cool toned brown with a little bit of green in there. Like you can see, it's a greeny brown shade. I love how beautiful this shade is. And I'm going to put this in my inner and outer corner as a setup for my halo eye. So I'm just tapping it into place. Don't worry about the fallout. I'm just going to take care of it in a bit. Just make sure you place this color on first. So we're just tapping this color into place to get the maximum amount of pigmentation out of this color. Going back in with that first blending brush, I'm going to ensure that I blend this out into my crease. You can pick up a little bit of that first transition color again if you feel it's a little difficult to blend this out. But mostly these eyeshadows do blend out rather easily. So I am going in circular motions to make sure that we have a nice blended seamless eyeshadow look going on. Now I'm going to pick up the shade Leaf, which is a beautiful medium toned green. We are not going for light green, but like medium toned green, and I'm picking it up on a flat shader brush, and I'm just going to apply it on the centers of my lid. Look at how gorgeous that color is. It's so beautiful. And I'm going to ensure I blend it into the browns that we have applied on our inner and outer corner. So I'm just overlapping it a bit. And now to give this look the much required punch, I'm going to pick up the shade Acapulco. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced, but it's a beautiful golden color. I'm just picking up on a flat shader brush and I'm going to place it on the centers of my lids. This is just going to sprinkle around a little bit of glitter onto the green. It would lighten up the green a bit and also just add a much required punch and just ooze and glam to that look. So I'm just applying this on the centers and making sure we blend this out. This shade has instantly given some life to the look, but I'm going to go back in with the shade Plant and I'm going to reapply it towards the corners where the brown meets the green, just to re-emphasize a little bit on that green because I feel like it got a little lost. Now that my upper lid is looking kind of where I want it to be, I'm going to work on my lower lid and we're going to use those same shades in that same order. So I'm taking that brown shade on my outer and my inner corner, just right here. Then we have our matte green on the centers and that golden shade to bring some jazz back to that look. To bring some light to my inner corner, I'm going to use the shade Calm, which is a beautiful reflective color. I'm just picking it up on a tiny brush. I'm going to place it in my inner corners just to brighten them up further. I'm quite happy with how my eyes are looking right now. We will see if it needs more blending, more adding of eyeshadows later on. But for now, I'm going to apply my mascara. I have my Maybelline Falsies Lashlift Mascara. I really like it. It works really nicely on my lashes. So I'm just going to give my lashes a couple of coats of this mascara before I go in with falsies to ensure that my natural lashes blend in with the falsies. So I'm just wiggling this through my lashes, upper and lower both. Now that my mascara is on, I'm going to quickly pop on my falsies and I'll be right back to finish off with the lips. Lashes are on and I'm really liking how this look is turning out to be. And now to finish everything off, I'm going to use my Lime Crime Lip Velvetine in the shade Elle. This is a beautiful brownie nude on me. I think it would beautifully pair up with the eyes. So I'm just going to apply this all over my lips. I think this lip color is a touch warmer than what I would like it to be. So I'm going to do my favorite trick that I do to make sure that my lips and my eyes are in sync. I'm going to go back into the eyeshadow palette and I'm going to pick up this shade that I applied on my inner and outer corners, which is Cool, a beautiful cool toned brown. And I'm just going to apply it all over my lips with the help of an eyeshadow brush. And I'm going to blot it off sorts so that it's not as concentrated. It can just lend its beautiful coolness to my lips. And yes, with that we finished this makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this, especially if you are a Piscean. Do let me know down below. But yes, I'll see you guys next time. Till then, take care. I love you all so much. Mwah. Bye.